Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi, and it's such a joy to come your way this very beautiful morning. I'm glad that you are here with me. Everyone joining me live, thank you so much for giving me a share of your time. Like I'll always say, please like the video, share it, let somebody out there know that there is something called Knocks to Nuggets in the air. And if you're watching thereafter, thank you so much for giving me a share of your time. I do not take it for granted at all. So this year is beautiful and we started it very uniquely. And it's running. We're in the third week of the year already. And last week we looked at starting it right in your career. And today we are taking it further to say start it right in your business. And I have a guest in the house today. He is a lawyer by profession. He is a notary experience in corporate and commercial legal practice, as the founder of Edoigiawerie and Company LP, a full service law firm with a strong support base for startup companies and entrepreneurs. He's an alumnus of University of Lagos. He's also a Harvard University certified leadership expert. He holds a specialization certification in legal entrepreneurship from the University of Maryland, USA, and a certificate in principled and persuasive negotiation from the Yale School of Management. Is a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, American Bar Association, and is also an UNCTAD Empatech, trained entrepreneur, and a member of the Tony Elumelu Foundation Mentors Guild. He is a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators UK and a member of the mentoring committee of the Nigerian Bar Association. He serves today as a member and ecosystem advisor at the Nigerian Startup Act project. He is a prolific writer. He is the author of the best-selling masterpiece for entrepreneurs, The Business of Running Your Business, a practical guide to building a successful business. This book is a product of his in-depth experience in corporate and commercial legal practice, statutory compliance matters, and entrepreneurship development. He's also recognized as one of the leading entrepreneurship and startup lawyers in Nigeria. And so far, he has helped establish over 1,000 startups that remain gainfully in business and still rely on him for expert support. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today regularly contributes to nation building through regular speaking engagements across the country on contemporary issues that relate to nation building and civic responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is popularly known as Uyi Law. So welcome with me today to the Knox Nugget platform, Omoruyi the Law.
Hey.
Good to have you in the house. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here. I'm excited, very excited to be here.
I'm glad I could get you here. I don't take it for granted at all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma.
I want to maximize your time. So this beautiful day, I want to throw you an open-ended question on this issue of starting it right in business. I know that a lot of us are already in business, either full-time or as a side hustle. I know that a lot of us are already making some money in business and some losses as well in business. But it's a new year. Many businesses are just picking up in this new year. Let's talk about it. How do you ensure that in this year you start it right in your business? Over to you.
Thank you very much. Greetings, everyone. The starting point would actually be to ask yourself what the foundation of your business is.
Wow, foundation.
Because you cannot start right what you have not done right. If the foundation is non-existent or weak, even the Bible says where there's no foundation, There's nothing you can do, right?
Absolutely.
So the starting point of this conversation would be to say, where really is your business foundation? Have
Mm,
you have you even started your business right from the onset? And that is
mm,
assuming that you have an ongoing business, right?
yeah.
But for those who intend to make 2023 a year of setting out, then this
Mm,
is a conversation that they will probably enjoy a lot more, right? But so that is the first thing, to go back and look at the foundation of your business. I often say that if you're running a business, there are three professionals you cannot afford to joke with, right? And so that should be the beginning of this conversation. Um, a lawyer, an
mm,
accountant, or a numbers person, right? Preferably an accountant, a finance person who would help you in your finances, because
yeah.
business is about making money, really. And third, a doctor. You know,
Really.
entrepreneurship and business is very, 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 very tasking, challenging, and hard. And in today's world, if you don't have a medical person on your speed dial, you'll be making a lot of mistakes. You'll be hearing a lot of people say, oh, people are slumping and dying, people are coming down with different things and all that. That's because we're not prioritizing our health. We're not looking
Mm,
at the things. Because you see, I always say, um, you need to be healthy to make money, and you need to also know the science. So I'll give you an instance. I was speaking to a group of very senior officers of the Nigerian Armed Forces, and I was doing a training for them. And suddenly during the training, I started feeling a bit dizzy. Now, I had done two classes before that particular class, and I had been speaking for cumulatively for about 6 hours with 1 hour rest time. But I noticed I was feeling a bit lightheaded. I was feeling a bit, dizzy and all that. And so I always wear my Apple Watch. You won't see me wear any other thing. So I quickly looked at it and checked, and I saw that my heart rate had gone up. And I calmly sat down and continued the class, but in a lower tone. And I now made it more interactive, started asking questions. So while they are responding or interacting among themselves to respond, I was using that to catch a breath, drink water, and get myself back. Right? Now, how did I know this? Because I have a doctor who says, look, Omori, check your stats. And
mm,
when you feel funny, always check your stats with you on the go. So the first thing I do when I wake up, I take a bottle of water, I check my blood pressure, I take my medications, and I start my day. That's after prayer and the like, right? So it's fundamental. And you'll be surprised that, okay, a lawyer is talking about health, but you see, the duty of a lawyer is to tell you what is best for you within the ambits of the law, and to structure your business in such a way that you are able to grow phenomenally. So health. So you need a doctor on your speed dial, right? So when you feel funny, you know who to call, you know who to ask some questions and all that. Don't mistake that the present economy is one that is going to grill you, and you need a lot of grit, strength, and discipline to be able to go through it. So these are the three professionals you need. You need a lawyer because everything about your business is foundation based. And the
wow.
foundation of your business, the fulcrum of your business, is the structure that you give it. If
True.
you do not give your business a structure, the business will not last.
Mm,
So I was telling you while we were at the back end
yeah.
discussing um, that I watched a venture capitalist show where they
Yeah.
were a pitch show where startups and entrepreneurs were pitching, and this lady came with a fantastic idea to pitch. And
Mm,
so when the VCs, the venture capitalists, asked for equity, she said, okay, but the company is not yet registered. Oh,
wow.
uh, you don't have, yeah, I'm in the process of it. I'm trying to register it. You look like, okay, so this product you're selling, have you trademarked the name? Oh no,
No.
you haven't trademarked the name. Oh,
You have nothing to
thing
sell.
that you developed that you are coming to ask us to put in $100,000. Is it patented?
Hmm.
No. What exactly are you selling? Nothing.
Wow.
So you're asking me to throw my water into the Atlantic Ocean, throw my money
Wow.
into the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow.
This example I have given you, you will be shocked, is the reality of a lot of businesses in Nigeria.
Hmm.
If you want to grow, you've got to stop that now.
Hmm.
The beginning of your business is to understand the foundation. So for those who have been running your businesses, go back and look at the foundation. Are you registered? Now, this is why you need a lawyer. Registration is a very intricate thing, and it's just as important as delivery.
Hmm.
Going through antenatal and having a proper doctor, take delivery of your help you take delivery of your child, right? Now, a lawyer or a legal professional will help you understand the right business, the right structure for your business. So, case in point, do you know? And I'm going to give, for those who are not the nuggets today, you're going to get a tip that you probably have never heard of. Do you know that a business name does not confer legal personality? A business name only confers you priority of use of name. It does not confer you legal personality.
Really?
Yes, yes. It doesn't confer you legal personality. It only confers you priority of the use of name. So guess what? If you go and register your business via the business name route, one thing you must have at the back of your mind is that your business structure is tied to your person.
Hmm.
So if people want to come against you tomorrow, they will sue you, Omoruyi Edoigiawerie, and not your business, because your business does not confer you legal personality. Now, there are certain businesses that you cannot run with a business name. For instance, real estate businesses. If you want to go into a real estate business, a business name cannot buy land, cannot sell land, cannot enter into contractual dealings or contractual agreements. So guess what? Here you go and register your real estate company business name, and then you start buying land or start reselling or doing these developer arrangements and the likes in that business name. A lot of the things you are doing will be faulty. Why? Because you did not choose the right structure. So
Hmm.
even if you have the knowledge, okay, yes, I want to register a business, you need an expert to tell you the right structure for your business. So starting
True.
right in 2023 means looking at your structure again and seeing if you need to rejig the structure. If you haven't started, get proper counsel to advise you on the right structure for your business. It's
Hmm.
important. And that is the beginning of the conversation. Now,
Hmm.
if you have a business that is brand based, then it's important that you understand that there's a distinction between intellectual property protection and corporate registration. They
Hmm.
are two different things. So I'll give you an instance. Coca-Cola, the name Coca-Cola is not a company name, it's a brand name. In Nigeria, Coca-Cola is owned by Nigerian Bottling Company Limited. That's the company.
Hmm.
The brand is Coca-Cola. So that you have registered Nigerian Bottling Company Limited is not enough to protect the Coca-Cola brand. The Coca-Cola brand has to be protected by virtue of what we call a trademark. So if you are in
Hmm.
a product business where you have a distinct brand from your name, the next most important thing you need to do is to protect that brand, which is your registration, your trademarking, intellectual property protection. Because,
Hmm.
you know, I say this because this is the bane of a lot of businesses. Sometimes those who have registered feel, oh, we've registered and that's fine. But hey, there's still a lot more.
Wow.
There's still a lot more, right?
Hmm.
Coca-Cola has so tied in their intellectual property. Do you know, Reverend Yomi, I'm sure you
Yeah.
use an Apple phone, do you?
Yes, I do.
Good. Do you know that the Apple trademark is worth over 400 billion USD?
Wow. Interesting. Are we losing him there? Is he shaking so many tables that even the network is saying, wow, wow, wow? I think his network just shook a bit. He'll be back. But for all of us who are on the call, I'm sure you're asking yourself the right questions immediately. Is your business registered? Is it? If your business is not registered, you need to think about it again very quickly, because that means somebody can just take that name and run with it, and there is nothing you can do. You'd have just worked for another to reap. Before you say God forbid, like I keep saying, that's not a strategy. Let's just do it right. And that is very, very important. And when you start talking about health, I'm like, we are here for starting your business right. And I have a lawyer in the house, and he's talking about health. That three people that you need on your side in business: your lawyer, your finance person, accountant, and your doctor. And like Gilbert said, it's the person that is alive that does business. So we must prioritize our health. If you are taking your health for granted, maybe you have this headache, you just pop in an analgesic. Oh, I feel woozy, you just pop in something. Let's stop the popping. Let's ask, why am I feeling like this? And get the doctors on our side. So Uyi is shaking all the tables this morning, breaking the tables anyhow.
I'm sorry. My internet just had some issues, so I had to switch to another one. Right.
No
So I was
problem.
telling you about the Apple brand.
Yes.
Do you understand me? That was even 2020, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2020, 2021 statistics. As at the end of 2022, guess what? The Apple brand is what? Just take a wild guess.
800. Okay, it was 450. Let's say it's doubled. 900 million. 900 billion.
947 billion, not million.
Billion, yeah. So I was close.
947 billion USD is what the Apple brand is worth.
Rand.
I'm not telling you what Apple is worth. Apple is what more than literally all the African countries put together. Their complete value. So let's not even go there, right? But that is what that half bit Apple, that sign and that name is what.
Wow.
And this is because they have
Wow.
intentionally built it through the years and protected it through registration. Apple
Mm,
has a solid intellectual property portfolio around the world.
hmm.
Now, what a lot of businesses don't realize is that, listen, Apple can get any facility from any financial institution just by submitting their intellectual property documentation.
Very true.
Why? Because they have a brand valuation and they have grown it through time. And that is the power of intellectual property protection. So it's
Wow.
important that you know these things, as you try to as you try to build your business. So but let's not dwell too much. It's an early morning and people have a lot to do. But
Yeah.
understand structure, understand intellectual property. And then what is the next thing? Documentation.
Documentation. Hmm.
Documentation. You see, it's important that people realize that your business is based on what you agree. The growth of your business is based on what you agree.
Hmm.
Oftentimes, what causes disputes that kills businesses are undocumented agreements.
Hmm.
Take things for granted. So when you don't document agreement, so if you and I um, have a dispute tomorrow over a transaction and it's not documented, then one of us will be a liar. That's what it means. You're either lying or I'm lying. Why? Because there is nothing to go to decipher what the actual fact is, what the actual issue is. But where it is documented, where you have proper documentation of agreements, employment contracts, partnership agreements, and even knowing the right agreements to do. Do you know Reverend, that an MOU is not a legally binding document. So it's not an
For real?
agreement. Yes, an MOU is an agreement to agree. It's not a legally binding contract. So even knowing the right documents to prepare as you scale your business, you are employing people. The law requires that you give them employment contracts within 3 months of employment. These are some of the issues for business owners who employ people and teach them skilled work. How are you tying in your agreements to prevent these employees from leaving you and going away and replicating those skills outside? There's something called non-disclosure agreements. There's something called non-solicitation and non-compete agreements. I've been seeing Mrs. Max Binije. She's one of the leaders in the corporate sector, and I'm sure she can relate to a lot of these things, right? So it's important that your documentations are important, because one of the reasons why businesses die is that they enter faulty or they have non-existent documentation. No company has been able to replicate the Coca-Cola taste.
True. Very true.
Because they have binded their scientists to very, very stringent and tough contracts.
Wow.
Non-disclosure contracts for life, where they cannot disclose. And there's so many things. So these are the issues. So I speak from a legal standpoint. Now, another thing, as a business lawyer, one thing I know is that finance is important. And so get your figures right. Many corporate entities fall into a pit. And what's the pit? They convert their corporate accounts into a one-size-fits-all. You want to give offering, you go from your corporate. You want to dash somebody money, you go from your corporate. You want to, and then your friends who don't have corporate companies, they come to you to, help them with their accounts, and then they transfer money, and then your account is a conduit. You are exposing yourself to dangerous tax liability, because when the tax man comes to review your banking transactions, you're going to be asked to pay tax on all the inflow. There's certain penalties that will come to you on the inflow. So if they are not related to your business, then you're going to have a problem. So fiscal discipline is important.
Wow.
Structuring your finances in a way that you are able to adequately track them. Using the right structure is fundamental. Using the right finance fiscal structure is fundamental to building a business that will grow in 2023.
Wow.
So you cannot afford to be using your personal accounts to run a corporate business. It's wrong. And you cannot afford to use your corporate account to run your personal affairs. So if you are a CEO of a company, or you are a sole proprietor or an entrepreneur that is growing, start paying yourself a salary. At the end of the month, structure your business and pay yourself a salary. Let me even give this tip. If you have been in business and registered your business annual returns, you're shortchanging yourself, because if you go back to the Corporate Affairs Commission search portal today, you will see that your business is marked as inactive. And the implication of your business being inactive is that it's not a going concern. For those who want to jackpot today, all the embassies, if you submit your documents and tell them that, you want to travel and you are an owner of a business, this is your business, they have an existing arrangement with the Corporate Affairs Commission to verify the status of your business. And once they see that it's inactive, it's not likely you'll get the visa. And even potential clients today, they go on that portal to verify that the business is a going concern. And if your business, if the company regulators in Nigeria say that your business is inactive, then that means it's not a going concern.
True.
That means your word against theirs will supersede.
True.
So beyond,
Hmm.
I'm not going to go into teaching you what your business is because you already know. I always say that look, before anyone comes to run a business, you ought to have done your groundwork. You ought to have understood the environment, right, and everything, right. But I'm only telling you this morning the things that will kill that business that you know very well very fast.
Hmm.
And then for business owners in 2023, what is your vision board? What is your vision board? Because if you don't know what you want to achieve, you can't track your progress. If you don't know what you want to achieve as a business person, you cannot track your progress. So create a vision board for your business. And so as every day goes by, or as every week goes by, you are taking the growth of that business. You're able to build your trajectory. You're able to say, oh, we have done this. So we're getting closer to where we want to be. Now, your vision board should, let's assume that you run a farming business. Your vision board should not be, oh, I want to have 100 million by the end of the year.
Hmm.
Your vision board should be tied to your business to say, okay, I want to be the leading supplier of eggs, for instance, in the entire, um, let's say, Bagada, where I stay. I want to be able to produce 200 crates of egg per day. What do I need to get there? I want to be able to become XYZ. Now, so when you have these clear indices, you're able to now adequately direct your actions and thoughts towards achieving those clearly laid out results. I want to have 100 million. What does that mean? How are you going to go and break the bank? But if you say, I want to produce 200 crates of egg a day, you need to know how many chickens you need. You need to have a system in place where you are able to make sure that you take care of your chickens well. And then you need to now look at your capacity. You know, one mistake that we in the Christian world fall into is that we use prayer to hide our inefficiencies and our inability to excel in the marketplace. We hide it under prayer. And so you have people believing in things that they do not have the structure to achieve.
Hmm.
So in 2023, kill that mindset. Have a
Hmm.
vision board. You want to create 200 crates. Do you have the capacity to produce 200 crates? If you
Hmm.
don't, keep that vision board where it is and go and build capacity. So when you read my resume, you were not seeing things that were in areas that don't have to do with business and startup law.
True.
So I went to study, I did programs, I ran courses, I did things that were in line with the aspect of law I wanted to specialize in. And by the grace of God today, I'm one of the leading startup lawyers in Nigeria because I built capacity in that place. And I said to
Hmm.
myself, I want to be a leader in the startup ecosystem in Nigeria. So I started going for courses, taking programs along those lines. So your vision board is fundamental. One of the things that your vision board will also do for you is that your vision board will help you align yourself with people who will take you to the next level. 2023 is the year of strategic collaborations. If you cannot collaborate, you will not grow. About a few months ago, the CEO of Apple confirmed that they were using Samsung screens for their phones. Collaboration is the next big thing. The year of I can do it all by myself has passed. It's time now. It's time now to collaborate. Find out those who have been there before you. What are they doing? Gain insights from them. You know, you must also understand that you must build your circle around the area of business you're working. I have no business being in communities that don't have to do with law, and bringing it closer don't have to do with startup law, where I want to build capacity, where I want to get customers or clients, then I can go into the larger communities. But for capacity and for growth, you have to stay around communities of people doing the same thing. So that way they'll even track your progress and tell you where you're getting it wrong. Another thing, 2023 is not the year of reinventing the wheel. No, 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 no. 2023 for your business, there's this popular caption, follow who know road. Look at people who are doing it right. See what they are doing and just copy them. Don't reinvent the wheel, just copy them. Follow them. This is how they are doing it. And this is the way when Yomi does her hair. She does like this. When she's doing nose to nugget, this is how she does it. This is how she does. This is the way her lighting is. Just copy. You will be shocked as to how well you will grow, rather than sitting down and dissipating energy trying to reinvent the wheel. Because we spend too much time trying to reinvent the wheel, as against following people who have built a solid trajectory of excellence and growth and learning from them.
True. True.
That's it. That's very, that's it. Because when you're able to do that, and then be wary of partnerships. Partnerships, I have mentioned collaboration. There's a distinction. Be wary of partnerships. Partnerships are like marriage. You get it wrong, you're screwed. Many times, why so many businesses fail is that people get into partnerships with people who should be consultants, or people who should be employees. Comes to me and says, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this," and then I give her key insights and say, "Come and be my partner, come and be my partner." That's not what it's all about. A partner is your co-laborer on the journey. And if they don't give you the same energy, if they don't bring enough to the table, they'll kill your business for you. It's important that you understand that. 2 heads are better than 1 doesn't always apply. So I have a high net worth client who's running a very massive project, and he always said, "Oh, people always looked at him as being crazy. Who didn't have, and then I went to the site where he was, where he was envisioning the project, and as crazy as the place was, I got a photographer to take a very good image of that place, and I framed it, and I put a caption in the image before framing. The vision is yours. They don't have to get it. And I gave it to him, and he put it, somewhere in his office, and he said every day he looks at this thing. So if you're running a business, especially if you're in the startup ecosystem where we thrive, a lot of our startups are seen as crazy. Are seen as, you're mad. What are you talking about? But guess what? If they don't see you as a madman, then maybe there's something you're not doing right. If people understand you very well, it's possible that you haven't hit it.
Hmm.
because the vision is yours. They don't have to get it. Am I saying you should not take feedback? Of course, feedback is important. Am I saying you should not listen to people? Definitely you should listen to people. But you must be able to distill constructive feedback from pessimistic feedback. Because what people
Hmm.
don't understand, they criticize, they kill because they don't get it. So you must understand that even as you choose to grow, you must collaborate. But as you are collaborating, don't jump into bed with everybody you see because they give you something good.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so a note of warning for people who decide to register companies today and just pick anybody and make a director and shareholder in your company. Guess what? You are giving them a chunk of what you own. If, for instance, um, 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 Elon Musk just picked a neighbor in his house and said, "Come and be a shareholder in Telsa." Today, that shareholder will be one of the richest people in the world,
True.
no matter how small his shares is. So you must know and be intentional about people who you bring on board your business as directors and as shareholders, especially as shareholders.
Hmm.
You're giving them a chunk of your business. So you must ask the right questions. And even you who wants to accept to be a director, it's important that you know today that the banking rules have changed. So Reverend Binta will confirm from that you have to submit your BVN, your NIN, literally everything.
Yes.
Do you want to give out all that information for somebody you don't know very well?
Hmm. Word.
Now, what is the implication? Let's say the company runs into a problem tomorrow, or let's say that director who you don't know very well, who is a signatory to your account, or who is a director on record, whose BVN is linked to your corporate account, runs into problem tomorrow, and his account is liened. Your own corporate account stands the risk of also being frozen, being liened. And then what will you do? What
Hmm.
will you do?
Wow.
So I always say to
Oh.
people, before you come, if you want to come together to set up a company, starting point is we have a founders agreement for you. You must have a founders agreement or a shareholders agreement where you state out everything. Because you see, agreements are so important. And the reason agreements are important is that when there is a dispute, you go back to the agreement and look for what that agreement says. As against you said, I said. Very important for businesses.
Hmm.
Very, very important for businesses.
Wow.
And as you know, because I see we've taken 38 minutes, one other thing that businesses must keep at the back of their mind as they grow and as they scale is that your name is fundamental to your growth.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Your
as you
name is
start now,
fundamental.
so imagine I want to start right now. I have a vision to be making um, chin chin, something as basic as chin chin, and then I go and register who is Chin Chin Limited. What if in a year's time we decide to diversify to other aspects of the confectionery line, bread, cake, and then in 2 years' time we want to start selling raw materials for making this product, and then we want to go into full-blown catering, and then we want to go
Hmm.
into hospitality, hotel services. Our name
Hmm.
already has limited us.
True. True.
So as you're trying to build your business, you must keep your name extensible. You must choose a name that allows you to grow. A name that will allow you grow and build your business over time. Because if you are not growing, then you are dying. And if you want to grow, you must put in place a structure that will allow you grow over time.
Hmm.
So it's important. It's important,
Wow.
and then so the other things that are basic, yes, Binta is spot on. It's very, very, very important. Fiduciary responsibility as a director, fundamental, fundamental, and these are the issues that we must begin to understand. Then the other issues like understanding your client base, understanding the needs of your market, professionalism, um, getting your employees to understand the vision of the business and teaching them to be professional. Because I always say, look at any business that has grown. They have not grown because of their branding. They have grown because customer experience has always been good. Look at the businesses that are failing. They have not grown because they have not failed because they have really not done enough branding. They have failed because customer experience has been whack. Who are the front line soldiers when it comes to customer experience? Your employees. If they don't understand the vision, they cannot sell it. If they cannot
True.
sell it, customers have nothing to buy.
Hmm. Very true. Very true. Very true.
So these
Wow,
are some of the
wow,
things that
wow.
are very important. Some of the things that are
Hmm.
very, very, very important. And then
Hmm.
you can't launch out to do a business without having a business plan. It's not even, you must have a business plan. And your business plan must not be, we always like highfalutin things. You go and get an expert to write 70 pages that you don't understand. How the dash? Put it in relatable language, easy to understand language that you can work with. Something that is relatable. Emphasis on the word relatable.
Hmm.
And then you work towards actualizing it. And then branding. One thing I say to my team at Edoigiawerie and Company is that you don't have a second opportunity to make a first impression. So your first impression must be top notch. The first time you email a client, the first time how you relate to the client who comes into the office, what you do the first time is what will be on record for the rest of our professional life with that client. And even if you even see it, even couples who get married to each other and live happily ever after, ask them, those who met in nasty circumstances, they always say it. The first time I met my wife, she was so rude to me. If you see how she spoke to me, that's it. That's it. It's a tag that has been permanently tied to your body. It can never change.
True. Hmm.
But let me
Wow.
also tell you, people who meet and never get together, or maybe things go south, if the first meeting left a good impression, you say, why did this person become nasty? Because the first time we met, he was so nice. I was so impressed. It's a tag. And as a business owner, you must realize you don't have a second opportunity to make a first impression. Your brand must be sold first to your frontline team. And if you're a sole entrepreneur, you must embody that brand. People must see it in you. One of the things I said to God was, as I run this firm, I must personify progress. I must personify growth. I must look the part. I cannot be broke and suffering and be saying I'm a leading startup lawyer in Nigeria, then there's something wrong with me. So, these are all the issues that you must look at this year. Your branding is important. You must build a brand that carries the story you are selling to your market. If you can't build that brand, I'm sorry.
Wow. You have said so,
I
so
can
much.
speak for the next 2 hours, so it's better we just
I
stop.
I know, and everything you're saying is so relevant. I was struggling with having to say we need to stop, but there's just one question I will take, and that's the only question I will take today. And Gilbert says, what do you do with a business name that is a tongue twister?
So here's the thing about businesses, right? Your name is very important to you. So, for instance, I run a Edoigiawerie and company, and it's kind of a tongue twister, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was personal to me that I was going to ensure that I keep that legacy. My father did great in his time. He retired as a very senior member of the police force, top echelon, and he left us a good name. I decided I was going to also take it a notch higher by building a global brand around that name. My branding people didn't agree with me. They said this name, okay, why don't we abbreviate to E&C Legal? I said, no, it was personal to me. And rather, we will make people understand the name, right? So you have some situations like that. But even as you do that, you must always also make it easy for clients to relate. If clients cannot relate, and that is why I have the Uyi Law brand, right? So it's easy for you. And what we do in the firm is that Uyi Law and Edoigiawerie and Company are used interchangeably. In fact, a lot of our emailing systems, we have E&C Legal. We also have uyilaw.com. So it helps, right? But if you don't have any personal affinity to this, then pick a name that is easy for clients to understand and clients to relate. And see, your name is also very catchy. Look at Flutterwave, Piggy Vest, Kuda.
Mm-hmm.
These are easy names. Now, also, your legal name doesn't have to be your brand name, like Coca-Cola and Nigerian Bottling Company. So you could decide to have a brand that is not your legal name. And there are so many like that, but this is not the platform for us to advertise them, right? So
Yeah.
that way you can create that bit of a balance. If you are selling a product, then your product has to be a name that is easy to catch. So if my brand name was Edoigiawerie, I will have problem. But my brand name is Uyi Law. And I don't think there's anyone who doesn't know how to pronounce Uyi Law. Right? Yeah. But the surname is the main legal name, but that's there. So you must create a balance. Ensure that it's a name that people can easily remember. A name that people can easily remember and people can connect with. For Christians that are running businesses, one word of advice. You must, so the Bible says, be as wise as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove. The aspect of being as wise as a serpent is to be very, 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 very careful not to fall into that pit of cutting off your market. And how do I mean? Imagine you set up a business and you use a name that is so Christianized that makes it uncomfortable for people who are not of the same faith as you to patronize you. And except you have a divine mandate or a divine calling, or God gave you that name personally, maybe you should recheck it. Because it's important that you have, so you have schools today, you have establishments today that are run by Christians that have Muslims there. And you have establishments that are run by Muslims that have Christians in it. So it's very, very important that while not compromising your faith, you structure your business and give your business a name that shows some measure of secularity. and openness to everybody on all the sides of the divide. And the same thing I say for those of the other faiths, right? So, what is the likelihood of me walking into a shop that has some descriptions that I don't understand, or that has a name that personifies another religion? It's very unlikely, except they have something that I cannot get elsewhere. But if the name is one that is easy to understand and cuts across board, I'm happy to deal with them. So it's something that we must understand, and as Christians, we must begin to bring that serpent wisdom as harmless as possible.
Wow, thank you so, so much. And I'll use that for your last words. Thank you for being very, very educative. This morning has been, you took us right back to school, and Binta got it right. Most educative session. Thank you very much. I'm sure for a lot of people, when they saw the topic, they probably expected a regular business plan, finances, getting funds, all of those things that we really know. Probably thought that what you are coming to talk about, but you brought it down to the foundation, things that we must do right if these businesses will grow. Thank you very much, Uyi, for being on this call. I
Thank
sincerely
you.
appreciate it. And like I say on Knox to Nuggets, we will come again. So look forward to my invite at another time.
Anytime, anytime, anytime.
Thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. That was simply a whole lot to chew. That was, it took its way out. And I want to encourage everybody, don't think you heard it all. Please go back to our YouTube channel, Knox to Nuggets, or K2N TV for short, and watch it again. And please, like I will always say, like the video, share it, let somebody out there know that there is something called Knox to Nuggets. And Ramat is already saying we need part two. So Uyi, yes, I know you can still hear me. We need part two. So we'll come again, and I'm sure we'll have a good time with you again. Thank you very much, everybody that has been on this call. And something Uyi said is so instructive, and I'm trusting God that next week we're going to be doing that. He said, don't reinvent the wheel. So next week, I'm trusting God, I'm going to bring one of the leading faces in the entertainment industry to talk about swimming in shark infested waters, a focus on the arts, the entertainment industry. So many people want to go into that space, but how do you get into that space? What do you must you be a person of compromise? Can you own your space and be a person of integrity while doing that business? What are the prospects there? How is it even like being in that space and being in everybody's face and being in the limelight? I'm hoping and trusting that next week, Monday, we'll be having a guest on the house that will be speaking to swimming in shark infested waters. And until I come your way next week, Monday, it's an amazing time with everybody. Remember, like the video, share it, let somebody out there know that there is something called Knox to Nuggets. And like I say, if you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. And as always, together we win. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a beautiful day. Bye for now.